What's up, Adam Trent?
Hello.
Good, man. How are you?
Yeah, not bad.
Congratulations, Illusionists 2.0.
Thank you.
The Futurist.
Yes.
It's a cool name, actually.
Futurist.
Yeah.
It's a name that was given to me. I did not come up with it. Unfortunately, it was Simon's doing.
If you could have came up with another name, would you have came up with something like that?
I wasn't disappointed when I heard it. I don't know what I would have come up with. I came up with myself, but Futurist is fun.
Yeah.
I like it.
At least it's a good, strong name.
Right.
I'm trying to think of a really like.
It implies youth and
it
fun
does.
and freshness.
Which is your style.
Well, I try.
Yeah.
I try.
How are you?
I'm doing well, doing very well. It's my first time in Australia.
Congratulations.
I'm loving it. I haven't seen any of it yet, except for my hotel room in the theater.
Give me, so it's all about the g'day mate.
The g'day mate?
G'day mate.
G'day mate.
Yeah. And you've got to drop the sort of the nasally, like, g'day, here you go.
Hiya. Like that, yeah.
Here you go.
I'm getting good at it.
My name's Adam, I'm from Logan,
yeah.
in Ipswich.
I've been the American tourist this whole time here. I actually got a cowboy hat my first day.
Did you really?
I'm wearing a cowboy
Have you
hat.
tried steak yet?
The
kangaroo circus kangaroo?
No, not kangaroo steak,
okay,
no. I haven't even seen kangaroo, or a koala, or a beach.
Yeah, really?
None.
Wow. No worries. You'll be as dark as me. I'm actually white.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're getting close.
I got some work.
So, congratulations on the Illusionists 2.0 show.
Thank you.
I saw the set on Sunday night. Thank you. Really liked it. I'm not just saying that because you're here. Because
Yeah,
I haven't performed myself.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not from Channel 9 where we go, yeah, great show. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's a wrap. No. How do you feel about this whole show, working with other performers? You know, talking to Ray before about that, but what's your whole feeling of this, in doing this? It's
my first time actually ever doing a show that has other people in it, or at least an extended show. I've done one-offs where there's been a group of people, but this is my first time actually, signing up for a chunk of shows with other performers. And it's interesting, I guess. I usually do my own show, and doing this, first of all, it's just the amount of time you're doing is so condensed. And everyone's bringing their A material, so it's tough to try out new stuff. It's tough to go about things like that. You got to kind of deliver every night.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're doing your own show, you can squeeze in 5 minutes here and there and try new things. That being said, a lot of the material I'm doing this show is new. So 2 of the 3 acts I'm doing here are pretty much brand new acts. And that was one of the things I was looking forward to was, having a group of guys that I trust and I've looked up to, like, Raymond and Lewis and all, I've watched these guys since I was a kid.
I can understand. It's
it was like, first guys that kind of, when I watched Multiverse Magic, they were the guys that, like, got me into magic.
Yeah.
And so to have these new acts that were kind of fresh and these just ideas that were coming to the stage, to bring it, during rehearsals, and, I didn't really know what they were going to be, and we kind of put it on the stage, and we'd be doing it, and Ray and a couple of guys were like, hey, this is a new act, right? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, do you want an idea or a note? And I was like, yes, please. This is, so it was a great chance to kind of workshop these things that, doing on your own, the process, it would have still gotten there, but it would have been much more drawn out. And,
I get it.
Whereas the cool thing about here is we're doing, 2 or 3 shows a day.
Yeah.
And so by the end of the month, stuff starts to get pretty tight.
Yeah.
So, it was a fantastic chance to try these new things that would have taken much longer to do on my own. And a great group of guys. I think we've, I speak for everyone when I say that we've all made lifelong friends through this. And seen Australia.
Which is good. Let me ask you too now, you do a lot of stuff, a lot of funky, a lot of cool stuff, which I like, and I believe that magic these days, you've got your own style, but what I like is you're making it fresh and modern, and it works for you as well, it mixes well. Your routine that you do with the screens and a bit of the technology, how long did that routine take you to come up with in a shortened
Right.
space of time?
I've been doing a version of that routine in my regular show. This is just a modified version that we did for this. It was a much shorter routine. But a lot of the basics of the routine were kind of already in my, it's called a video of life that we were doing to begin with. So what we kind of did when started working with Simon and them is we just kind of tweaked it together, changed the music, changed the costuming, changed the presentation slightly. But in that sense, we tweaked it over a period of maybe 3 weeks.
Yes.
It was very fast.
Yeah.
And we shot it in LA and we threw it together and came out here and did it. But I've been doing that routine for about 4 years now on my show.
Wow.
A version of it.
Yeah.
So
that's great. And when you come up with new stuff, like, are you constantly trying to, you'll take an old idea and go, how do I make that 2014 now? Or is it just something you see and go, that's cool, and I'll workshop it?
A little bit, yeah. It's kind of a mixture of both. Sometimes it's effects that I've seen from, not magicians, like there's just a concept that, like I do a thing with the helmet in the show, for example, and that was literally
just strong, just great.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Charm 101 lessons. How to charm Adam Trent.
That was something where literally I just was in Costco in the States, and I saw the GoPro on. I saw the GoPro of people walking around with a GoPro on their head. And I thought it was such a cool thing, like seeing these cool action sports from a first-person perspective. And I thought, well, why not wear one of those on stage? And I was trying to think of a reason to wear one on stage and get that shot of me performing on stage. And so I figured we'll make a trick out of wearing a camera on your head. So that was, and then the video to life thing was something that's been used in concerts, and there was a Britney Spears concert I saw back when I was probably 8 years old, where she was kind of jumping around the screens with herself. So that idea with some extra magic to it. So it's not necessarily just magic tricks that I've seen that are trying to create. But that being said, I think that everything is eventually. It starts. These basic principles have been around forever, obviously. And I think if you can find a new way to present them, or a new way that just kind of fits you, or that you feel comfortable doing. A lot of times, it's like I'll do a classic effects done for a long time, and I'll just do it for a couple months, and after a while, it kind of morphs into its own version of something else, where the basics, the method of it and the workings of it are the same. The presentation has become something just kind of your own personality.
That's great. Do you find that? And I'll get real with me right now. This is real. We're going to keep it real. What bothers you with magicians these days?
What bothers
be honest, everyone's cool. Because I'm on the channel, I'm very straight up with the guys and tell them, get out of the house and perform. You're never going to learn by sitting in your room all day. You have to sort of mold someone's style when you start, because if you don't do that, then you've got to go find your own way.
Sure.
What do you see these days that you think that needs to be cleaned up?
I think a lot of it is just that I think there's a lot of great stuff that comes from the online community of having all this access to YouTube videos and Magic Cafe and all these forums where you can just kind of discuss these things. Unfortunately, a decent amount of times it turns into this kind of like mud throwing contest.
It's a big fight.
I guess I wish Magic was more of a camaraderie of, but there's a big difference between watching something and critiquing it versus trying to do it yourself. And I think once people start trying to do it themselves, they realize that you don't get it right the first time. You may have to make 50 YouTube videos, you might have to make 100 live show acts, or before you finally get one that's really pretty good. But when you first put it out there, it's so easy to get ripped apart online that I think it discourages a lot of especially younger people from putting content out there, because there are going to be a lot of nasty comments or whatever it is. So I think that a lot of what performing is you have to put yourself out there, and that's how you get good at it. I guess thankfully, or the bad part about when I started doing magic, there was no YouTube or anything. I would just so I had to learn magic from books, and the process was much slower. So and part of me wishes I had these YouTube videos of guys sharing tricks and sharing cardistry and all these. I could learn so much faster. But at the same time, I also got to perform at nursing homes and do hundreds of shows at little nursing homes and birthday parties, and be really terrible in these environments where no one ever knew. Whereas if I had YouTube, I probably would have been tempted to upload a video of myself in my room doing something, and then I would have gotten slaughtered online for being terrible at it. And I think that for a young kid starting out, that could be pretty rough.
That's great.
In your time as a magician, we've all seen that trick that we're just like, what the hell? Do you remember a time when you were like, stage, close up? Like, give me a good by the performer.
Copperfield, every TV special of Copperfield,
just does something
it blew my mind. Like, not only just magic-wise, but production-wise and comedy-wise. And it was like every single thing he did was oh my god, like where did this even come from? Like, it wasn't even the why didn't I think of that first, because it was just like, it was so far beyond what I, like, it wasn't one of those obvious things like, oh, I should have thought of that. It was like, that was so incredible. And the way he tied stories in with it and everything, I mean, literally every Copperfield special that I've seen, it just like warped my world of magic.
Shout out Copperfield.
Shout out Copperfield.
Shout out, you better be watching.
Call me, David.
Yeah, just call him. Consultancy. His fees 50 grand a trick. That's probably cheap these days, actually.
I mean, I love Copperfield. He's still my favorite.
Yeah. Oh, he's very strong. And now let me ask you as well. Because you're sort of like me, we're in sort of that where we learn a little bit from books and a little bit online. Did you learn a little bit from online when you started as well?
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to date myself here, but I didn't really. I'm 28 now. When I was starting magic, I guess in like the golden learning years of magic, from 9. I started when I was 9. 9 to whatever 15, where you're just like every moment.
Yeah.
There wasn't a ton of magic online, you know.
Illusionists.com was like, I'm 25 and I started when I was 14 and that was maybe the first thing out.
Right.
I think it was Born to Perform as
Probably
well.
just happening, yeah.
It was happening. But I still had, you know, Tarbell and, you know, Bobos and stuff like that.
Yeah, for me it was reading books, and then I recorded the World's Greatest Magic specials.
Yeah.
And I would just watch them every day before school.
Yeah.
I just watch them over and over and just gradually figure things out, and it was like, you know, that was the way of learning for me.
Where I was going with it, I was going to say these days in 2014, a lot of young performers out there, because there's so many performers and so much media online, what's one show business tip? Because you know, magic is magic, but if you want to perform it, it's a tough game too. What advice would you give out now to really stand out and get out there?
Just put it out there in as many ways as possible.
Yeah.
Like hit 10 things at once. Like,
so just be everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, when I first started, I was into dancing. I was into music. I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to, you know, then magic was this other thing that I always loved myself. And I just kind of had a bunch of different irons in the fire at once. And,
okay, cool.
Eventually, either one of them will hit, or they'll all kind of come together and form their own thing. And you know. And then you wind up, you know, performing, I guess.
Wiping the toilets on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, you wind up, who knows where you wind up.
Singing Boys to Men, baby.
You wind up broke.
Yeah. So, Adam, thank you so much, man.
Thanks,
really appreciate it, man.
No, appreciate it.
One last thing to everyone out there. What's one thing you want to share, say? It's up to you. Boom.
AdamTrent.com.
Yeah.
And I'll teach you the finger trick.